unspoken rule of girl code do all women follow? If a man makes you uncomfortable in public, another woman will come to your rescue without hesitation. No explanation needed. We just know. I was on a late train ride home from visiting family. It was a quiet Sunday night, barely anyone in the car, when this guy gets on, mid-30s, suit and tie, holding a briefcase. But something was off. He sat directly across from me even though the entire train was empty and immediately started talking. I gave short, polite answers, hoping he'd take the hint, but he didn't. "You're too pretty to ride the train alone," he said, leaning forward. "Are you sure you're old enough to travel by yourself?" He was trying to sound charming, but my gut screamed otherwise. I smiled awkwardly and looked out the window, but he kept going, asking where I lived, if I had a boyfriend, why I was out so late. Then he tried to move to the seat next to mine. That's when I panicked and did the only thing I could think of. I grabbed my phone, opened the camera, and started recording. He froze for a second, then laughed. "You're not gonna post that, are you? Come on." I was just being friendly. I didn't respond. I just kept the camera pointed at him until he stood up and walked to the next car. But the relief didn't last. He came back 2 stops later and sat 2 rows behind me, watching me. I felt his eyes on the back of my neck every time I shifted in my seat. My hands were shaking, and I knew I couldn't get off at my usual stop. He'd follow me. I texted my roommate and told her to track my location just in case, but she was across town and couldn't come get me. At the next stop, a woman, maybe mid-40s, boarded. She looked tired, like she'd just come from a long shift at the hospital. She sat a few rows ahead of me, but after about 2 minutes, she stood up, walked directly to my seat, and said, "Hey sweetie, sorry I'm late. Traffic was awful." I was confused for a second, until she winked and whispered, "Girl code." I nodded immediately. She sat down next to me, pulled out a book, and started chatting like we were family catching up. She asked if I was okay. I quietly told her everything. She didn't flinch, just smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'm getting off with you." We stayed like that for 3 more stops, talking about everything and nothing, pretending to be relatives. The guy behind us got off at the second stop, probably realizing his plan wasn't going to work. We waited 1 extra stop to be safe, then got off together. I tried to thank her, but she just shrugged off the praise and said, "Anytime. He looked like a creep." "You did the right thing, recording him and texting someone. Never be afraid to make a scene if you feel unsafe. Promise me that?" I nodded. She gave me a tight hug and headed for the escalator. I never got her name. I don't even know if she was really a nurse. But that night, she became my personal guardian angel. Girl code isn't always just about hair ties in the bathroom or warning someone when their ex is around. Sometimes, it's knowing when another woman needs rescuing, without her ever having to say a word.